Welcome to Crushing Kayfabe. My name is Jason Garish. Let's see. Obviously, we had Money in the Bank this weekend. WWE started things off with the Money in the Bank men's ladder match with Drew McIntyre, Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, Chad Gable, Jey Uso, and LA Knight. LA always a bridesmaid night. Some really good spots in this. I mean, it was a very entertaining match. That Spanish fly off the ropes that Andrade and Carmelo Hayes onto the ladder did was just absolutely insane. A lot of good ladder spots. Gable looking amazing. Kind of surprised here they didn't have any type of run-in with the Wyatt Six off the bat, and I wasn't sure if CM Punk was going to interfere during this match or later on. Either way would have worked. Good, like I said, good match. Some crazy spots. Probably my favorite match of the night. This and probably the Zayn versus Braun Breaker, but I'll get into that a little bit later. I had Drew winning this. I obviously setting up for what's to come later. The timing of this, I kind of question the feel of the timing of a lot of the placement of these matches during this this pay-per-view. You know, because it kind of felt a little weird in that sense. You know, we kind of, I don't know if they were going to bookend the Money in the Banks matches, but I know why they did this because of what comes up later. But the timing felt a little weird because you almost had a little lull in the middle kind of thing. So Drew wins that. No big shocker there. I think pretty much everyone predicted that. You know, we had a moment, I think, where Jay looked like he was going to take it home. LA Knight is just kind of meandering right now. They need to get him back into that feud with Logan Paul. You know, a good feud right there. I'm kind of surprised to begin with that LA Knight was in this. I know if they just put him in there to make people think that, maybe he has a chance, you know, because he was one of the legitimate contenders in there. I expected a lot more interference in this pay-per-view. I didn't get a lot of it because I was expecting this pay-per-view to set up for SummerSlam and be a real very real story advancing pay-per-view, or PLE I should say. It's going to take me a long time to get used to saying PLE, but they didn't. They did some things that advanced the storyline, but they could have done, I feel like they could have done a lot more, especially with the previously mentioned Wyatt Six. Made no appearances whatsoever, and I feel like that was a mistake. Because when you look at this, my favorite, like I said, we had a couple of good matches and then a lot of kind of fluff, I think. You know, and I understand that, you know, Money in the Bank is not supposed to be one of their bigger pay-per-views /PLEs, but it should advance storyline. And it did to certain aspects of the story, but part of it kind of fell flat with me. I mean, like I said, the Money in the Bank matches were pretty good. But aside from that, I kind of, we had Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker after that. I was really hoping and expecting Braun Breaker to come out of this with a win. I don't know what this really does for Sami Zayn, because I can see him potentially being involved in the whole Bloodline storyline down the line. So I don't know how this benefits anyone. I hope this sets up a longer feud between Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker, with the payoff being Breaker getting the Intercontinental belt, because I think he needs it. I think they need to fast track him. I think he's ready. You know, he's got great promo, great. This guy's just blue chipper. He's just scary explosive. Just scary explosive. Incredible athlete. And they keep touting that, you know, how fast he runs the ropes, how explosive he is into the into the spear. Wow. That he's just an incredible athlete and real. This guy is the future of WWE, I think. So why they didn't put him in there? There are a couple of good spots this match I enjoyed. I love the push-ups from Braun, which kind of harkened back to Scott Steiner. Not the greatest form on the push-ups, but I do love that kind of was a nod back to Scott Steiner's uncle. Beautiful Frankensteiner off the top rope. Just gorgeous Frankensteiner. One of the best I've ever seen in there. Just great. And like I said, unfortunately Sammy retains. I'm hoping they continue this feud because this should not be it. And I think this kind of hurts Braun. This is one of those things. Braun is one of those great talents, kind of along the lines of a Tiffany Stratton, that they are so good that it's going to be hard to keep them a heel for very long. Kind of similar to the way that the fans tried to turn, what's the word? Who am I trying to think of? There's a couple of, it's along the lines of, anytime you've got a heel that's good, that is that good, kind of along the lines of Gunther, let's say. The fans are going to want to cheer from him. They keep winning. They keep executing beautifully in the ring. The fans are eventually going to turn this guy heel. I think they're going to try to make this guy into a monster heel, especially with the whole, and maybe that's what the storyline is going to be between him and Sammy. He's going to probably attack Sammy and go after him, I'm guessing. We'll kind of see what happens Monday night with that, tonight, I should say. But they're going to have a hard time not letting this guy be a babyface. And I think his future is kind of like a Stone Cold, almost tweener / babyface type guy. He's going to be a guy that kind of blurs the lines, but the fans are going to absolutely go nuts for him. That's my prediction. Like I say, Sammy retains. After this, we had a John Cena appearance. John Cena talks about his big Toronto Pops, talks about this being his last go-around in WWE. It's time. It's time for him, I think. I think he's obviously more committed to his movie career, and he's good at it. Why not? He's great as Peacemaker. He's great in a lot of roles, and he sees how much money The Rock is making. Why keep beating the hell out of your body, for less money? He can make movies and do his thing and have his outside ventures and make a lot more money. He's established his name. He's established his box office attraction. He's kind of following the path of The Rock in that sense. Kind of ironic since he obviously during their feud he openly mocked The Rock's pursuit of a movie career and his lack of dedication to WWE, and now John Cena is doing the same exact thing. Kind of ironic, but I can probably venture to guess that those promos were kind of half true. I did like the mentioning of Rock's notes on his hand. I thought that was great. I don't know if that was a fourth wall thing, kind of. I don't think Rock appreciated it very much, but Rock is kind of showing himself to have a massive ego. I haven't watched the story behind the WrestleMania thing. I'm looking forward to seeing that, but I heard they had to postpone it to, this is kind of hearsay and rumors, but I heard they had to postpone it to do some heavy editing on the Rock material because he apparently kind of made him look like a jerk, so it didn't paint him in a very favorable light from what I understand. So I'm gonna have to watch that. With the having a kid and other commitments, it's incredibly hard to keep up with some of these things outside of wrestling. Fortunately, it's outside of the main shows, but I'm gonna have to watch that. I wish this pay-per-view didn't go so long. I hate this. I know that sounds like an old man. I'm sorry, but I have to be up at 4 a.m. on Sundays. I am glad that they put a little bit earlier and whatnot, but man, when it ran over, I was like, wow, just make it stop, please. But next up we had the Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins. Some creative stuff in this. I like Damian Priest in the ring. I'm sick of his promos. I'm really have grown tired of his promos. I'm not liking his promo work, and I wish to God he'd change his character up. I think what they're trying to do is paint him in a more favorable light and establish him as kind of like a babyface. And then I think Finn Balor is going to be the massive heel that kind of breaks up or fractures Judgment Day, and I think it was Kevin Castle, Kevin Castle show that said that he can see Dominic kind of aligning himself with Damian Priest, and then Finn Balor and JD, Big Forehead, line up with Finn Balor and possibly even live to kind of fracture themselves off and create an offshoot of Judgment Day, or become, their version of the Judgment Day, and kind of have those two factions kind of feud out with each other. Because obviously we can see dissension with Finn. We can see Finn doing some underhanded stuff with him grabbing the hotel key card and his little comments when Damian Priest told him not to interfere with the match, yada yada yada, and wanting to go out there alone, face your opponents alone like that without the interactions of your stable is a very babyface thing to do. So they're in this in-between stage, but unfortunately Damian is getting booed at this point, so that kind of throws a crimp in the plans. He's either got to step up his promo game or do something, because they've got to establish him more babyface-ish, because he's not coming off cool. He's not. And then the guy's, like 41, I think? And it's hard to establish a cool factor in your 40s or 50s. Lord knows I know that, because I don't consider myself cool whatsoever, but you're trying to resonate with those younger fans, and I don't see Damian Priest doing it. And it's sad, because I think they have an absolute ton of potential with him, but they're completely mishandling his character, and he's completely mishandling his character. This has been a really lackluster championship run, and I'm not really digging a lot of what he's doing, but having said that, we did Damian Priest and Seth Rollins, and I'm not a huge Seth Rollins fan. I respect him a lot because he's a company guy. He's very good in the ring when he's working with the right people, and they have a well-established storyline, and he's got a clear vision of what they're going to do. But he's not aimed at my demographic, so I'm not, I understand why. I get why people love this guy and love to sing along and do all that, and he appeals to the younger audience. He doesn't really appeal to me, but I respect the hell out of the guy because of he's a hard worker. He does what he has to do, and he's got the crowd in the palm of his hand, so he's doing something right. And I know a lot of the older podcasters just don't get it. They don't have to. I don't have to get it because he's appealing to the younger crowd, and he's over. So I don't have to get it in order for him to make money. He's not directed towards me. During this match, which I alluded to previously, Drew McIntyre comes out to cash the Money in the Bank a briefcase, which he does during the match. Does anybody else think this is a stupid thing to do? You've got Damian Priest and Seth Rollins going at it. Why not wait until they've picked the bones clean and then finish it off? Why not wait until that match is over and you've got one surviving guy with the belt? Was it like... It doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. I don't know if... because once again, that's almost like a babyface-ish thing to do. And are they going to flip-flop? Which makes me think, are they going to flip-flop the whole Punk versus Drew thing? Because CM Punk has been pretty clear-cut babyface throughout most of this. Even though he interfered, he caused him that. He kind of has a reason behind it because of Drew's interference with Punk in the past, so he's motivated to do it. This is gonna be a real ambiguous feud, I should say. I think because of that. I still love CM Punk, and now I'm a Drew fan too, so it's gonna be a real weird thing for me to watch because I guess I'll root for Punk. I don't know, but both these guys, it's kind of good. Well, I'll get to this in a little bit because CM Punk interferes in the match, costs Drew the championship, and Damian Priest retains by pinning Seth Rollins. Damian Priest looks out at Punk really angry, because he doesn't want anybody interfering. Once again, a kind of babyface-ish type move, doesn't want anybody interfering, wants to stand on his own 2 feet, yada yada. Pretty babyface-like. So, is that alluding to what's going to happen in the future? My worries are if they do try to go full-on babyface with him, I think he's going to get booed out of the building unless he changes his persona and changes things up. The only thing that could possibly help that is the return of Rhea. And I don't know what her timeline looks like. I don't know how her injuries are going. Has it been 6 months? I don't think it's been... I'm trying to count down. No, I don't think it has been 6 months. But that might be the only thing that saves him, is teaming up with Rhea and getting the babyface kind of shine off of her. Because if he teams up with her and gets the pop off of her, that might work. I think that might be the only way possibly you're going to save Damian Priest at this point, and being able to make him a babyface. Because I don't think anybody's going to root for Finn Balor. I don't, but yeah, Drew and Punk battling outside at one point. Punk chokes Drew with a cable, an XLR cable. At least I think it was an XLR, the coax cable. And Damian Priest retains the belt. No interference from Liv. No interference from Judgment Day. No interference from Bloodline. Okay. I thought we were advancing storylines, but okay. Next we had the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We had Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, Io Sky, Lyra Valkyria, Naomi, and Zoe Stark. Right off the bat, Zoe Stark, Naomi, I could tell you right off the bat, even Io Sky, I don't think ever had a chance at this. I was predicting and hoping they'd put it on Chelsea. I was hoping that. I didn't like the comedy. Chelsea is amazing at the comedy stuff. She's gotten a boatload of charisma. Chelsea is a great wrestler also. I didn't like the comedy crap in the beginning of this with the Afraid of Heights won't go up the ladder type thing. It just distracted. And at the beginning of this match was real real sloppy and really scary. It got a lot better as the match went on, I should say, getting rid of the comedy elements to a certain degree and just getting serious. Zoe Stark had this one spot where she did this head bump. It looked like she just lawn darted into one of the ladders that was lying, horizontally on the mat, and it was a scary moment. I can't off the top of my head right now remember who she was involved with that with, but man, that was a terrifying moment. It really didn't. Well, I mean, she had some good spots. I shouldn't say it really didn't do much with her, but Tiffany Stratton ends up winning this thing, and Tiffany got a great reaction from this crowd, which they're in Toronto, they're in Canada. Canada's kind of bizarro land, backwards land, and the heels tend to get praised in a lot more. So not surprising, but I think Tiffany is going to start getting more of a pop. I mean, she does have a great heel persona. She is annoying. She got into a verbal altercation with Trish Stratus, who was supposed to be hosting this event, but didn't do a whole lot. Did a couple of backstage segments, mostly involving Tiffany, and it looks like they might be setting up a match between Tiffany and Trish in the future. I think they probably had that interaction with her and Trish, though, because they probably wanted to cement her as a heel in Toronto, and they probably saw the face reaction that she got from the crowd and probably wanted to just remind people, hey, she is a heel, but yeah, I was kind of hoping they'd put this on Chelsea. I want Chelsea's opportunity to shine as a singles wrestler, even though I like her being paired up with her current in her current pairing with formerly known as Doudrop. But Tiffany is. I don't think Tiffany needed this. It's not a bad person to put it on, but I think she was already a star and didn't. I don't think she needed this at this point. I think Chelsea would have benefited a lot more, and I think they could have given her a big push. Maybe even has a feud between her and Tiffany if they turn Chelsea babyface, because people are really starting to appreciate the really good mic and in-ring work that Chelsea is doing. She's very entertaining, and she's people appreciate that. Wrestling fans appreciate that, and they will turn somebody face based upon somebody's work rate and somebody's work in the ring. It's almost like a Chad Gable or a off the top of my head, I can't really think, but what they did to Io Sky a while back, especially in Puerto Rico. You've got to. Gunther has to come out and remind people that he's a heel. He has to be a jerk, because otherwise, people, if he didn't say anything, people would start cheering from him. And I keep forgetting that he has that opportunity at SummerSlam to go against the champion. So explains why he wasn't involved at all in this. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to go through this last match real quickly. This match, the 6-man tag match, doesn't even deserve a whole lot of time. But, we had the Bloodline versus the Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. Solo pins Cody to try to make him look like a stronger character. They've been building him a lot better. They've been booking him a lot better. That last week they did with the whole thing they did with Paul Heyman was crazy. It was just insane. It built Solo up, obviously. No real storyline push with this. They just effort to make Solo look stronger. They had one little part where Kevin Owens got to get popped from the crowd, beat the hell out of was it Tama Tonga, I think. And obviously prayers going out to Kevin Owens and his family. And his mother is in the hospital right now, and he's dealing with a lot. So thoughts and prayers going out to those guys. You know, I think if Roman Reigns' father, Sika, hadn't died, you might have seen the parents from him during this pay-per-view. That would have been a great time to bring him back. I think they held it off because a lot of the family, I think, was still in mourning, and that's a great deal of respect to Roman, and I appreciate the heck out of that. They did a good job there. Unfortunately, I have to start wrapping things up, but check us out on crushingkayfabe.com. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, and check us out Then Now Flea Market. We'll be doing the 3rd anniversary, I believe it is, on August 10th. I'll be playing there, so if you want to come see me and tell me how much you like the show or how much you hate the show, come out and say hi. You know, we also have some stuff for sale in Then and Now. So come out and there's a great store. They've been around for a little while, and if you go there, say that Crushing Kayfabe sent you. That's downtown Trenton in the square. So prayers going out to Israel and out to the Ukraine. Thank you guys for tuning in. Really, I appreciate the heck out of it. Hopefully everyone had a happy 4th of July. You know, if you haven't got a chance, check out my appearance on PPRN, Peter Pino Show. I had an appearance there, so definitely go check that out. They didn't do a show last week because of the July 4th holiday, but check it out. It was a fun show. I always like going on his show, and I appreciate Peter and Phil Hall for what they've done for my career. So go check them out. I'll put a link down in the description. Okay. And once again, thank you everybody for tuning in, and God bless. Thank you.